y'all, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and today we are outside with the puppy, and I got a kitty and his carrier over there, and we are going to start some of our lettuce plants. And I have some a pansy tray back here that I am starting to harden off. So I thought I'd bring you guys along and tell you about some of the things I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So first, these are all pansies. I think there's some petunias in here. I have more downstairs, but they need up-potted, and that is not on my list to do today. So maybe this week I'll get them up-potted and get them hardened off, but I do have some time. But I did want to get some pansies out here now. That saves me space down in the basement so I can up-pot some other plants, and these guys can handle the cold. So today it's about 70 degrees. This week is supposed to be really nice. And then at night it is getting down to like the high 30s, low 40s. But especially, I have a greenhouse right back there that I need to put the cover on. But with these pansies, they don't mind the cold. They can handle a little bit of a cold snap. So, and if it gets too cold, I can just bring these guys back in. But I want to get these guys outside and start getting them hardened off. So, what does harden off mean? When you grow plants inside, they aren't used to the elements. They're not used to the wind or the sun, the rays of the sun. They're not used to rain. They're not used to hail. They're not used to anything. These guys have been very babied. And so what I do like to do with all my plants is I like to run my hands over them, and that just helps build up their stems. But currently these guys have lived their entire lives in a, not climate controlled, but in like a relatively warm, constantly getting watered. They've been very babied. They've lived very good lives. But it's time to move them up so they can actually get the use of the sun. I think the sun will help grow them a little bit, will help with some of the legginess that we got here. But I think it'll be good. And I got one geranium that just kind of stuck around. So harden off can be a tricky process, but you have to have patience and not rush it. So let's talk about what harden off is. So hardening off is the process of exposing your plants to the real elements, the real world, a little bit at a time. So if you put them out fully, if you just put them outside one day, a lot of things can happen. The stems aren't gonna be strong enough to support your plants. They'll fall over. Or two, one of the other things that can happen is, and I've had happen, is my plants get bleached. The sun is too strong. They're not used to the rays of the sun. So they actually get bleached, which can kill them as well. And you'll know if a vegetable or a plant has gotten bleached because it'll have little white spots on it. It literally looks like it got bleached. So all these things are really bad for plants. So the pansies that I have downstairs, I've had a fan on them for just a couple of days. So I start with just an oscillating fan, and I start on the first setting, and then I move to the second, I move it to the third. And I do this as soon as my plants start getting their second and third sets of true leaves. And what happens with that is they just build up stronger stems. So when you put them outside, you can see my hair is blowing a little bit. It is a nice bit of a breeze. My basement doesn't have a breeze. So I add in that fan, they're able to withstand this breeze. And you'll see, especially if you harden off plants, you will see that when you turn on that fan for the first day, your plants will be blown over and it looks like they've gotten beat up. They will pop back up, don't worry. But you do want to make sure that you're doing that so you can build up their stems. So my pansies are outside today. They're going to be outside for about an hour, and then I'm going to bring them inside, and I'm just going to do it every day. So tomorrow I'll put them out for an hour and a half. The next day I'll do 2 hours. I'm just slowly going to build them up until they're used to the elements. Now, I work a full-time job, and during the pandemic I worked from home, which was amazing. It was my favorite thing. Unfortunately, I'm not able to work from home anymore. So what was nice in the pandemic and working from home is I could control when I put them out. So right now it's 5 o'clock in the evening. The sun is not in its peak. The sun is somewhere over there. It's starting to set. So they're not getting the normal amount of sun they would get throughout a day. So you want to keep that in mind too. So even though I'm starting them today at 5 p.m., I want to keep in mind, I can even get them up to 4 hours. They can be out from 5 to 9 with no problem. But the first day they're out at noon, they're getting so much more sun than they've ever gotten before that I need to keep that in mind. So in addition to just building them up hour by hour, I need to increase the hours ahead of time. So I put them out today at 5. This weekend, I need to start putting them out together maybe at 3 and just slowly increase their exposure to the full sun. Which, when you're working a full-time job, that is really hard. So you just gotta do the best you can and hope that your plants don't get bleached if you're not able to. You know, I The only times I can put my plants out to get the full day sun is on the weekends. So it might cost a couple plants because I'm not able to put them out, you know, at 10 a.m. and take them in at noon, and put them out at 10, take them in at 1. So I'm not able to get them really used to that full day sun. But if you do work from home, or you are home for probably 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row, that you can put them out for the full sun, starting at maybe 10, and then 10 to 11, then 10 to 12, then 10 to 1, 10 to 2, during, you know, where the sun is at the highest, is the best way to harden off a plant. But like me, I'll bring you guys along in this process. Like me, I don't have the ability to do, you know, the whole day until I get to the weekend. So when I planted my plants, I kind of took that into account, and I started extra seeds just so I know sometimes something might die because it wasn't able to get hardened off properly. And at this point, I'm gonna blame this on having to have a full-time job and not able to give my plants the attention that I know they want and that they need. So in addition to hardening off plants, today we're going to be starting our first seeds of spring, which is going to be our lettuce seeds. And I start all of my lettuce seeds in not a green stalk, it's the dollar store knockoff of a green stalk, but I love it. So I'm gonna get them started today. But before I did that, I wanted to show you guys my garlic. Look at this garlic that's coming up. So garlic is one of the first things that you will see pop up in the spring, and it's starting to pop up everywhere and get nice and green. So I'm excited about that. Last year I loved my garlic too much, I killed it. So I'm really hoping that I don't do that again. But I want to show you the garlic, and then I want to show you, before we start our lettuce seeds, I want to show you the lettuce I started in the fall. So I always do, and I stole this idea from Jess at Roots and Refuge, I always do lettuce greenhouses, and I'm harvesting lettuce now. So it is March 16th? Yeah, March 16th, and I'm harvesting lettuce for my salads. So that's super exciting. But before I do, look at the kitty. Say hi, Willow. Hi, Willie. He loves to be outside, but just where I live, I'm not able to keep him outside, like let him have free reign. So that's what I have for him right now. I want to eventually get, like, I've seen they have like kitty condos on Amazon for like $50, and I want to get them, but I just haven't got it yet. I don't know that I trust it for him, like, not to get out. So the crate is small, but he loves it. He loves being able to come outside however he can. But look at this one thing of lettuce I have going. I don't know what's going on back here. I have like some dying, I don't know why. But this is a good bit of lettuce I've been harvesting from. So this tray, and some of it you can see is getting a little leggy, getting a little tall. Look at this one down here. This one's not doing as well, but it's definitely getting bigger. These would be really nice lettuce seeds, or lettuce heads. So what I do is I just come and I cut it when I want to make a salad, and it grows right back. So even though these are in a greenhouse, these do need to be hardened off. And they're going to be very, very tender and very, very sensitive. So you want to make sure that you're being careful when you're hardening them off. And then, so yeah, look at this guy. He is just kind of bolting, getting leggy. I'm not quite sure. This never happened to me before, so I don't quite know why it's doing that. But I'll get those cut here soon, and then we will eventually, once I know that like the threat of frost has passed, I'll get those guys hardened off, and that will keep producing for a long while. So that's exciting. And then, are you Catnip? Yes. Wait, I actually don't know what you are. I think this is Catnip. So I think this is Catnip. Is Catnip a perennial? I didn't think Catnip was a perennial, but this was definitely my catnip plant that I didn't, along with a berry plant or a pepper plant that I didn't throw away yet. But this was my catnip plant, and it has started setting off another plant. So it's coming back. So I didn't know catnip was a perennial, but that's definitely what that is. So that's exciting. Hi, Willie. Willie is just meowing away. So this is what we're going to get planted today, is this big tower. And you can see I do have lettuce that was in there last year, and I tried to start lettuce for the fall and it didn't go well. So what I should be doing is I should fertilize this soil, because this is old soil and I don't have fertilizer with me. So I'm gonna plant today. I need to order some fish fertilizer. So I'm gonna plant today. I have a bag of just regular garden soil here. Oh no, I do have some compost. I'm gonna add some compost to this tower, and then I'm going to get it planted. I'm doing some more mesclun mix, which is my favorite, and arugula is my favorite. Mesclun mix, arugula, and then some romaine, heads of romaine, or hearts of romaine, I think they're called actually. Paris Island romaine, and then some bib lettuce. So I'm gonna get that tower going. And like I said, it's March 16th. So the earlier you can get your seeds in the ground, the sooner you can have salad, and the longer you can actually eat your salad mix. So let me get this guy planted, and I am gonna leave some holes open because I want to plant herbs in there. I didn't start any herbs yet. I don't think I am this year, just because I got lazy. I started a lot of things. I didn't really have any room to do another tray. So I didn't start any herbs. I think I have to purchase my herbs. So whenever my herbs go on sale at the store, I'll buy some herbs, but I am going to leave some places open to add in herbs. I love to add basil, dill, cilantro, parsley to this thing as well. So I am leaving things open for a reason. But let's get this guy planted. When you are working with dry soil, you want to make sure that when you're soaking it down, it can become hydrophobic, which means it's actually going to repel water. So when you've had soil that's been sitting for, you know, from fall to spring, it can become hydrophobic. This actually isn't. I just put my finger in and tested it, and it's all really soaked through. But if it's hydrophobic, there are things that you can do to fix it, or you can just switch out the soil. So sometimes I just like to switch out the soil and don't even try to fix it. But this guy is pretty good. So I've added some compost to him, and I've added some new potting soil to him, and we're gonna get him planted now. Now I'm gonna do one more thing. I have this herb garden that this year for fall I decided to try to use it as a greenhouse to grow salad mix in, and I was not successful. I planted some arugula, some mesclun mix, not very successful, and I just threw my seeds. In the process of throwing weeds or throwing dead plants, I threw my seeds. But what I'm going to do is I normally use this as just like a straight herb garden. You can see my chives, they came back. They died, but they came back. So I guess chives are a perennial too. I didn't think they were, but I guess maybe. But so I normally use this as an herb garden. I'm still going to do that this year, but I thought this year I would also plant some lettuce seeds in here and see if I can get some lettuce to grow. I do have some that overwinter. There's just some little sprinklings over there and some mesclun mix back there. Just a little bit. But I think I'm going to fill it up. Well, not fill it up, but I'm going to plant, like in this corner, I'm going to plant a big bed of mesclun mix, and I'm going to do a big bed of arugula, because I thought that might be fun. And then hopefully this will just be a big, beautiful bed of lettuce and green herbs, because that sounds lovely. So I just am doing a light planting, and then I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to cover this guy up anymore. I'm going to let him expose the elements, and hopefully they grow. So we got everything I wanted to get planted today. I got the entire lettuce tower right there completely planted and watered. And that's just gonna live outside now. So Sawyer and I and Willow are going to just relax the rest of the day. It's almost dinner time. So I'm getting pretty hungry. What's nice about these two planters, so the garden tower here, where is it? The garden, oh, here we go. Garden tower over there. And the herb garden. So with the garden tower, if we get a freeze or we get too cold, and we're not supposed to get any freezes for the next 2 weeks, but if we would get too cold, I could either A, take that whole thing like in the garage or inside, or B, I could cover it with a sheet and that would help keep it from freezing. Lettuces are spring flowers, so they can handle a little bit of frost. Right now, you can plant your lettuces, they're all going to be good. But if you do get a little bit of a frost, you can just go ahead and either move movable ones like this, or just cover them with a blanket or a towel or some sort of something that will protect their leaves. But these guys, especially because I just planted seeds, will be brilliant. This is the perfect time to get them in the ground. I'm excited to have a ton of lettuce in the spring. With that, I'm gonna let you guys go. It is this puppy's dinner time and the kitty is begging for treats. So we're gonna go inside and get dinner ready. But yeah, I'm excited. I got this little project checked off the list. I hope you guys are getting stuff done too or at your house, and I'll see you in the next video.